Updating our beliefs about the world is one of the most important ways in which we're able to learn and grow as individuals. And imagine if you could consciously reshape your thinking in order to unlock new possibilities in your life. I'm Dr. Alan Johnson, and on this channel I talk about the mind, well-being, productivity, and change for thinkers, makers, and everyone in between. Our beliefs shape our reality, and by examining them and updating them when we need to, we are able to open opportunities for new knowledge, new experiences, and new ways of being in the world. When we change our beliefs, we are essentially opening ourselves up to new knowledge and new experiences. And this can have really positive, profound impacts on us. Carol Dweck's research on mindsets distinguishes between two ways in which we might approach the world. The first is known as a fixed mindset, and this is when individuals believe that their abilities are static and unchangeable, that how things are now is the way that things will always be. The flip side of this is what's known as the growth mindset, when we begin to believe that our abilities can grow and can be developed further over time. I spent most of my life thinking that I had an innate ability to kill all plants around me. I couldn't keep a houseplant alive no matter how hard I tried. And that began to really seep in to my sense of who I was. I began to believe that, well, I'm just one of those people who's not really good with plants and the natural world. It's such a clear example of a fixed mindset. And when I recognized that, I began to take some steps to learn more about the natural world and about plants and about gardening. And over time, I was able to actually keep plants alive. Now, this is a really mundane example, but think about how much more significant of a change could be created in our lives if we're moving from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset in other areas of our life. The phrase "know thyself" was inscribed on the Temple of Apollo at Delphi and was a central tenet of classical teachings and philosophy. And the phrase emphasizes the importance of self-awareness and introspection, which are really the fundamental tools for understanding and updating our beliefs. The phrase "the unexamined life is not worth living" is attributed to Socrates by Plato in his work Apology, and it underscores the importance of regularly examining who we are, regularly examining our beliefs and the impact that they have on our lives. Because in the same way that the world around us can go through significant periods of change, we also internally go through significant periods of change. In his book, The Structure of Scientific Revolutions, Thomas Kuhn defined what he called a paradigm shift as a fundamental change in the basic concepts and experimental practices of a scientific discipline. It's when the usual ways of thinking about something in science were replaced by a new scientific framework. And Kuhn argued that scientific progress is not just a gradual accumulation of knowledge, that bit by bit, year on year, scientists learn more and understand more. That happens, of course, but Kuhn's work argues that the history of science is profoundly shaped by moments of disruptive, profound, transformative change. So think about Ptolemy's geocentric model, which suggested that the Earth was the center of the universe. And this belief was widely accepted, not by everyone, but very widely accepted until Copernicus introduced the heliocentric model, which placed the sun at the center. And there was an extraordinary amount of resistance to this paradigm shift that fundamentally changed the understanding that we held of the cosmos and our place within it. And this type of paradigm shift can happen in our own life as well. And it can illustrate that sometimes the paradigm shifts that we find in our own life that transition from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset can sometimes come with a huge amount of challenge and discomfort. Because conscious growth involves recognizing when our beliefs are outdated and need to be updated. Because a lot of the time, we hold on to beliefs and mindsets that may have served us really well at an earlier point in our life. So we might have begun to believe that we can't do something because at one point in our life, we were unable to do something. But what's fascinating about the ability of humans to continue to grow and learn and change is that something that we once weren't good at, we are, through practice and repetition and discipline, actually be able to come good at. So we needn't think about these limiting mindsets from the past as something that is set to destroy us or to ruin our lives, because these will have served us well at one point in our growth and development. So we can recognize them, acknowledge them, perhaps even express gratitude toward them for once having served us in a valuable way. But then the most important final step is being able to let them go. I want you to think now of a limiting belief that you have about yourself, something that you think that you just can't do, that you just aren't able to understand or to produce, or a kind of person that you just aren't. I want you to think now about where perhaps this belief originated. How far back do you remember holding on to this belief? And I want you to think now about how that belief served you when it first emerged. Because I'm willing to bet that it did have a function. This belief was probably trying to keep you safe, trying to keep you happy, trying to keep you fitting in with everyone around you. But is this belief still serving you today? Or is this belief, which once had played a significant and valuable role in your life, actually just limiting you now and holding you back from who you want to be and what you want to achieve? Regular self-reflection is absolutely key as we continue to grow and evolve as individuals, and taking time to look at the beliefs and mindsets that we hold is so invaluable. And our journaling practice, reflecting on where these beliefs and mindsets came from, or perhaps in a contemplative meditation practice, reflecting on the purpose that these beliefs and mindsets might have once served for us, and through work with a therapist or a coach or a counselor, thinking about how our beliefs might now begin to change, to be updated, to go through that substantial change that Thomas Kuhn describes. Our beliefs ultimately impact every aspect of our lives. What we believe impacts our decision-making, it impacts the work we do, it impacts our relationships and how we relate to others. So it's vital that we are regularly examining and updating these beliefs, not just for us, but so that we can show up for those around us in newer, richer, and more authentic ways. Our perceptual shifts can happen both subtly and also in big ways. We will see day by day, moment by moment, in a contemplative practice that we begin to grow and evolve. But we can also, just as the history of science, encounter major paradigm shifts, major moments of updating old beliefs that are no longer relevant, clearing the hard drive to make room for the new operating system, which is going to take us into the future. Every change, no matter how small, contributes to our ultimate growth and development. I hope that some of these tools and ideas have been useful for you, and I hope that you like and follow this channel for more content like this.